Hi, and welcome to the channel. It's just a quick preview for the Olympiacos game. And yeah, it's at the Emirates tomorrow. And I mean, I was looking at their league and they're undefeated. And I think that's just it's not a surprise, really. I looked through the table and don't really recognize too many of the teams in there. And I mean, looking at any standout players they've got, I think a name we'd recognize is Podence. He's on loan from Wolves. And I was just trying to get a feel for any other players. And there's only really one player called what's his name there, Tarami. Because he's played at top clubs like Porto and Milan. So he's a player we should be looking out for as well. Maybe worry about that. But other than that, really, just seeing the careers of the other players. I mean, looks like they get quite a lot of Portuguese players. No, sorry, maybe not a lot of Portuguese players. Sorry, from the Portuguese league. But they're the only really two that I can see that are massive threat. So, I mean, I guess it really should be a formality. We're at home. Our team must cost tenfold what their team costs. So, yeah, it should just really be a straightforward win. So maybe this should be a good opportunity for players like Norgard, Lewis Skelly, um, Odegaard, Dalman. You know, these players don't play often. Like lately, I know Odegaard played lots last season, but don't play often at the moment, and to get more game time and yeah, to help our Premier League title hopes really. So, and obviously the Champions League hopes as well. So yeah, I think it's just be minutes in the legs for some players. I'm hoping I'm not jinxing all this and they go 1-0 up like in the like not 1-0 up, but like beating us when we played them in the Europa League. But that moves me on actually because I thought it might be a bit more interesting for this video to look back in the past. So we played them in the Champions League in 2015, which I totally forgot about. And I saw online Giroud scored a hat trick, and now that's just totally gone out of my head. I don't remember that at all. And what I do remember is the Europa League game where they knocked us out, and just yeah, how that was a bit embarrassing, really. And that was Arteta's first season. It feels like ages ago. Now was it the COVID times? February 2020. No, that I think that was the first game, February 2020, where Lacazette got the 1-0. And then it must have been like the next month or something like that where they knocked us out 2-1. But I mean, yeah, I guess it is a bit embarrassing, really. I mean, they did have Marco Silva as a manager, so he's managing in Fulham now, so he was a recognised like good manager, and I think they had a good enough attack as well. So maybe not that embarrassing, I guess. But you think they got kicked out by Wolves in the next leg in that Europa League tournament? You think, well, we could have done something against Wolves, really. So I mean, who knows? Maybe in Arteta's first season, if we didn't bottle that tie, then he could have had the FA Cup and the Europa League in his first season. So yeah, that would have been great, really, because I think the last time we won the Europa, European silver was 1994. So yeah, for him to do those two things in his first season would just been absolutely fantastic. So would he? I guess he's got quite a lot of pressure at the moment to win silverware this season. So would he have so much pressure if he managed to do that in his first season? Probably, I guess, if he had a top club, he should be getting pressure, and he hasn't won anything since. So, but I guess something interesting to think of, I guess. Um, but yeah, I mean, just going back to what I'm saying about feeling embarrassed. Maybe that's a bit unfair, really, because that was probably our level at the time. I think when you look at the team we had then, I guess I remember people would refer to Arsenal as being a bit soft. I guess if the going gets tough, we wouldn't stand up to the challenge. So I guess it kind of shows we've come a long way since then. 'Cause I don't think people would say that about Arsenal now. But then again, if you put it in perspective, I guess we haven't won anything. So is things much different, but it feels different now. So that's the I guess we're going in the right direction. So now he's just got to do with the season, actually get the trophy to make it have that feeling, actually equate to a trophy. But yeah. Anyway, that was a load of waffle. So what I thought would be fun to do, I guess, is look at the the side in 2015 that played against Olympiacos, and also the side in Europa League, and just compare that to the side that played against Newcastle recently and just go, okay, if I feel like we've come a long way, then would I swap any of those players for the current team? So let's just go over the team that played in the Newcastle game. We had Ryan in goal, Calafiori, Gabriel, Mosquera started. But I'm just gonna be a bit shameless here and just say let's just say Saliba, Timber, Rice, Zubamendi, Eze, Trossard, Saka, and Gyökeres. Let's go for all of this as a 4-3-3. So the ultimate lineup out of these three lineups. And then for the 2015 side, let's go do the better result out of the two. Let's say the 3-0. So check in goal. You got Monreal, Koscielny, Mertesacker, Bellerin, Ramsey, Flamini, Campbell. When I saw that, I was like, Campbell? Who's that? But I remember I do remember him. He didn't really play a lot for Arsenal. I think he had quite an injury-prone time at Arsenal. So then you had Ozil, Walcott, and Giroud. And then for the team in 2020, let's go for the 1-0 one, not the 2-1. Um, Leno and goal. Then I was thinking Saka at fullback. I was like, oh yeah, I remember he did play at fullback initially when he was starting out, so he was left back. Then you had Socrates, Louise, Mustafi, Xhaka, Guendouzi, Willock, Aubameyang, Martinelli, and Lacazette, and just the 2015 team. I think is quite respectable, but looking at that just looks like a poor side, really. So I'm shocked that we went out. I mean, I guess Aubameyang's really shining light in that side, but that's not a good team, is it really? But anyway, let's go for the. So I'm looking at the team that played against Newcastle. I think out of the 2015 and 2020 side, would I take any of those players, swap them? So if you're going goal, so for me, it has to be Raya still. If he was going by the Chelsea version of Czech, now I put Czech in, but I'm going by my thinking is the team at the time. So Czech at that time I wouldn't swap him for Ryan. I mean, I don't know if I, does anyone remember when he almost kicked the ball in the net? So like it might have been that season, who knows? But yeah, I'd take the Chelsea version, but not the one we had last time. He had some good moments for us. I think overall was solid. And yeah, I mean, there's also Leno, but I think Raya's just clearly a better goalkeeper, really. So yeah, left back, which this is where I'm going to make my first change. I'd put Monreal in. I mean, Saka's just there's no point picking Saka for this, but I think Monreal was a very consistent player for Arsenal. I think he was good attacking, good defensive. He's just consistently always a 6 or 7 out of 10. I can't remember many bad games for him. And yeah, I mean, Calafiori has done well for Arsenal so far, but he's been injury prone really. And I mean, he's good attacking and that, but I feel like sometimes maybe he doesn't have a lot of discipline. You see him up in midfield, in the box, here, there, and everywhere. He's just got a bit of a free role. But I guess that's instructions from the manager. Manager keeps picking him, so that's how he wants him to play. But if it's just my picks, and if going off, okay, would I change the team that played against Newcastle? I would put Monreal in over play through. I think you just get a better defender, and I think he can also do some good things in attack as well, like Calafiori does. So. Okay, the centre back pairing as well was a bit unfair earlier. I'm not going to count Mascara. I'm going to count Saliba, but I'd keep it as Gabriel and Saliba still. I mean, shout outs to Koscielny and Mertesacker. I think they're very good for Arsenal. Um, maybe a few shaky moments here and there for them, but I guess any player does. But I think that partnership with Gabriel and Saliba, that's a title challenging centre back partnership, and you can't say that for the other four defenders. I had a thought while writing this sort of script out for this is if those two do end up winning a league and say I don't know, they win another league, then would people rate them better than some of let's say like the Campbell Torre centre back partnership? This probably not because of the Invincibles, but I don't know really. Like it's maybe it's recency bias. But yeah, I know something to think about, I guess. Okay, now talking about it, probably not. Anyway, right back, I guess it's obviously Timber. I mean, what were the other picks? Well, Mustafi or Bellerin? Yeah, I don't think I'd pick that. I think you'd have to be trolling to pick anyone other than Timber. So, right, midfield. I'd, yeah, I'd definitely go for Rice. I wouldn't change anyone for Rice. Now, I'd be swayed on. maybe changing out Zubimendi for like Xhaka, maybe like. But if I go for the team at the time, then the Xhaka playing against the Olympiacos that season, I wouldn't. But maybe the Xhaka for the 22-23 season, I would. So I'd put Rice in the six and then put Xhaka in the eight. But I wouldn't put Xhaka in at the Europa that Europa League time for Olympiacos. So I'd probably just keep it Rice and Zubimendi. So those would be the six and the eight. I put Zubimendi in the six and Rice in the eight. I just think Rice can do what Xhaka can do in that position. And I think if you look at just the Xhaka Olympiacos time, 2020, and Rice now, I think it's just, yeah, Rice can do what Xhaka does at a better standard. So yeah, going to the cam role, I think it's got to be Ozil. Obviously, I think it's just he's the type of player who can find a pass out of nothing really. He's known as the assist king. He made the game look so easy, and yeah, I think there was times in his career at Arsenal where it looked like he wasn't caring as much, but when he was on it, he was really on it. So I think a bit unfair to Eze, I guess. I mean, people could be arguing maybe Eze's got a better shot on him, but I just think you'd want Ozil there for the assists. So, what am I looking at? Out on the left. Now, it's where it gets tough because you're talking about Trossard and Willock, and who was the one in 2015? I mean, Campbell. Yeah, Ocho. When I said earlier, I was looking at, I totally forgot who it was. So I'm going to change it up a bit here. I'm going to put Aubameyang on the left. Now, I remember ages ago, I remember seeing Aubameyang on the left. I thought, oh God, just put him down the middle, but like, it never really worked. Lacazette played there quite a lot, but I don't like those choices that we have to pick on from the left. So I'm just going to stick Aubameyang on the left, and now that leads me on to this. Maybe gives it away a bit. I'm going to keep Gyökeres in the middle. I guess people can make an argument about Giroud, and yeah, I mean Giroud can hold up the ball better than Gyökeres, so that helps with bringing people into play. But I think Gyökeres is a better goal threat than Giroud, and that's what you want from a striker. So I'm going to pick Gyökeres, and then now the right goes without saying is Saka. I think Walcott was a good servant for Arsenal. He never really lived up to what we thought his career could be when he started out as a teenager decades ago for Arsenal. But yeah, I think Saka when he's the sort of our talisman at the moment. He has his aura about him, and when you see him on the pitch, you focus to Saka and you think, right, something's going to happen. I just think Walcott never really had that. So that's my team. I think so. Yeah, the only real changes, I guess, is putting Monreal in, Ozil, and Aubameyang. So yeah, I mean, I think that does show that we have come quite a long way. Then, when you look at those sides and you think, well, I'm only making a few changes. So I mean, I'd be interested to know what other people think, but that's what I'm going for. And yeah, just to round it up, thanks for watching.